Hey everybody, welcome back to Creating Scenery for Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is kind of a interruption video, not related to the current series that's going on. Actually, it is related. Fairfield in build series. Anyway, part 16, Alpha and Bravo, we made signs for that hotel. And I created the sign using the long way. All right. And to explain why I did that is I always like us to learn the long way so shortcuts become easier when you learn those. All right. I was reminded by a viewer that you can import SVGs. Yes, you sure can. Okay. If you remember in the video, I was talking about when you can import and convert things into meshes, okay, in Blender, but you still have to do a lot of cleanup. Now, will that cleanup be faster than creating it from scratch? Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not, okay? So, yes, okay, I need to remind you. Sorry for my cough. I need to remind you. All right, here we are in Blender. I'm going to select everything and delete it. That in Blender, you can simply do a Shift-A, add text, okay? Go into edit mode. Come over here, type in whatever text that you want. Okay, get out of edit mode. All right, and if you come over to the fonts, go to fonts. Where's font? Fonts right here, and you select a font that is in your Windows fonts. Okay, you can anything that's in any font that's installed on your system, you have access to it. Okay, but this particular font that Fairfield Inn was using, I can't find. All right, it's specialized just for Fairfield Inn and Marriott, right? So I had two choices. Okay, I can find a scalable vector graphic, an SVG file, and import that into Blender, or I could have just created it from scratch based on the amount of cleanup that I would have to do with that SVG. All right, and I'm going to show you the cleanup. All right, I would like to say I'm pretty fast at creating objects. I know it doesn't look like it on the videos, but when I'm recording, I'm a lot slower, okay? But when I'm doing it on myself and I'm not talking at the same time, things are a lot faster, okay? I think we all understand that. All right, so here we have the Fairfield Inn as text, all right? Now, if I want to go in and create a sign out of that, obviously I right-click it and I convert it to a mesh. Then I can go into edit mode, okay, and I can, select all the faces and or select all the faces, and I can extrude. I can do whatever, all right, because now it's a mesh. All right, we all know this. Most of you guys know this. 99.9% of you guys know this. All right, this isn't something drastically new. All right, but notice that all these faces, there's a lot of faces, and we need to cut down on the amount of faces in the simulator, right? Because that affects frame rate. Okay, so let me tab out of here, and I'm going to turn off the text. All right, and we are going to go to File, and I have an SVG that I've downloaded. Import Scalable Vector Graphic. Okay, now I'm going to show you a couple ways to bring in an SVG, And the second one that I show you has less cleanup that you have to do. Okay, so this is just bringing in an SVG natively. All right, so we're going to go into prototypes, and I have the SVG right down here, so we'll import that. I'm going to hit A, select everything, and period, so I focus in on it. All right, if you notice on the right side, they're all curves. Okay, so we need to convert all those curves to a mesh. All right, so we're going to come over here come over here to the SVG, and I'm going to hold down shift and select everything. I'm going to right click, convert to mesh. Easy peasy. Okay, so each one of these is a separate part of a collection. All right, every one of these. All right, now let's go into edit mode and notice all the faces. Okay, here's all the faces that make up the R. All right, now if I want to get rid of all the faces and I just have the edges, that's simple. You can select all and you can hit delete, and you can delete faces only. But it leaves all those interior edges. Well, if you wanted to clean that up, you can simply go to edge select, select all the interior edges, all right, like this, and delete those, and then delete edges, and you're slowly cleaning it up. All right, I'm going to hit a couple Control Z's to go back to where we began. All right, another way to do that is with the R selected. In this particular case, I'm going to hit the Alt key, make sure I'm on edge select, hit the Alt key. Notice that it selects this edge loop around the R. Now, they're not all connected, just because the way that this monster was created. All right, but we are getting close. All right, so there's one down here that's hard to see. Okay, I'm going to hit period so I can focus in a better. Oh, my view. I'm going to come over here, go to view, change this to 10,000. My clipping. All right. All right, so now let's zoom in. Oh, I got the wrong clip. Oh. Oops. There we go. All right, now I went the other way. All right, we got to kind of zoom in here because I need to get this edge that's down here. So I'm going to Alt Shift select. All right, and then I got another one because it's not closed. There we go. I think we got them all. Not 100% positive, but we're pretty darn close. I think that's uninterrupted. Yeah, that's right there. All right, so I've done a series of Alt selects, Alt Shift selects, and I selected the edge around that R. Now I can come over here to select, and we can go to invert, and now only the internal lines are selected, and then I can go to delete edges, and now we just have the outline of our R, right? Now, select all. Now I want to create the face again, so I only have one face. So by selecting this, here's the key. If I hit F, I also get this mess right here because of the hole. Okay, the hole for the R. I created a face for this, and I've created a face for this. All right. So you're going to have to extract out this whole part of the R, and then you're going to have to do a Boolean subtract from this whole of the R to the R. Okay, so you're still going to have to do some cleanup. All right, then you're going to do that for every letter. Okay, but like my video showed you, part 16, alpha, is the cleanup. You have to make the decision. Is the cleanup going to take longer than actually digitizing your around the perimeter of the F or the letter? Which is going to be faster for you? Okay. Well, I felt for that video it was faster for me to just go ahead and create everything from scratch. But if you want really, really nice quality around all the curves and stuff without having to digitize it yourself, you can simply bring in the SVG. All right. Now I'm going to show you a different way. So we're going to turn off the Fairfield SVG in this particular case, and I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to get out of edit mode here. All right. Now I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to import, but I'm going to bring it in as a grease pencil. And I'm going to go to my prototypes, and I'm going to select the same SVG, except I'm bringing this in as a grease pencil. See the G pencil? So there we go. We got the G pencil. But I'm going to right click, and I'm going to convert that to polygon curve. All right. So now I have a polygon curve right here. Layer 1 is now a polygon curve. Now I'm going to select, I'm going to turn off the grease pencil. I'm going to select the layer 1 in the polygon curve, and I'm going to right select, and I'm going to convert that to a mesh. Okay. Now, when I go into edit mode and turn vertices on, I don't have any faces whatsoever. Okay? I don't have to clean up all those faces. Plus, every letter is in one object. It wasn't split out like the SVG, which could, if you're doing a lot of animation, and you're bringing words in, and you're rotating all the letters, and you're bringing them in together, and they, kind of like a movie intro or something like that, having all the letters separate so you can animate them each individually is quite handy. Okay, but for what we do for Microsoft Flight Simulator, not so much. So we have all these all in one layer. And I have no faces to deal with. Okay, so if I want to start creating my faces, okay, I can simply select the faces that I want, just like I normally would, and hit F. And now I have a nice clean face. All right, now in this method, if you remember when I made the hole in the A, I was using the knife tool. I created a face out of this. All right, so I'm going to select the outside, and I'm going to hit F. Okay. Then I use the knife tool in edit, and I trace this part, and I cut this part from this part, right? And then I just deleted the hole. All right. With this method, you would simply save this hole as a different object. Okay. And after you make this a three-dimensional object, and then you would subtract this piece from this piece using the Boolean subtract. All right, so you're not using the knife tool, but you could also edit this one particular letter and use the knife tool and follow that line like we did in our example of our hotel sign. All right, so 2 ways to bring SVGs in. You can bring them in as native SVG and then do a whole bunch of editing, or you can bring them in as a grease pencil and a couple steps to convert it into a mesh. They're a lot cleaner to work with. Okay, so that's a way to bring in an SVG to use as a logo, or if you want a particular font that you can't find. Okay, so hope this helps. Hey, please subscribe if you haven't, and if you feel inclined to support me, buymeacoffee.com/myphysicalworld, and I will see you guys on the next video. See you later.